Good. Good. Good.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hi.
How's sunny Texas, Dee?
Well, last night we were outside in the cold for an hour. The fire alarm went off. And we're having adventures in Texas. And the electricity's off now.
Oh, fun. I'm glad I reminded you that you might need something else to get in instead of internet because, power outage and whatnot.
Yeah,
So,
no, I'm just using my tablet, so that's fine. Except it was on charging, but it didn't charge. So anyway, I've got 47%. I should make it through the meeting.
all right, so let's get started then. I'm going to call this meeting of the Jefferson County Board of Supervisors open. First order of business is to acknowledge the minutes of the February 1st meeting, February 2nd meeting, February 4th meeting, February 8th meeting, and February 11th meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oh, excuse me.
Did you get a motion on that?
No, I did not. I'm going to ask for a motion on that. I have a motion from Drake and a second from Hamilton. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Is Susie there with you?
Yes, she is.
Okay. Morning, Susie.
You see her? Okay. Maybe you didn't. All right. So moving on, we'll move to meet with the county engineer, Scott Klein. Good morning.
Morning. Let's see, as far as crew accomplishments, on week of February 1 through 5 and weekend, they bladed snow and they did snow plowing and they cleaned and repaired equipment as needed as the snow fight progressed. And then the next week, they bladed snow again, and we did equipment maintenance, and we did snow plowing, application of salt and sand, working overtime, and those are the main accomplishments. I also want to mention that we've made an offer to the person that we were hiring to replace Randy Atwood. And I don't know if you need to know the name right now, but next week, I hope to have it on the agenda with his name and salary offering and all of that.
Okay.
And he's, we've got to go through physical and testing and things like that between now and March 1st is when we would like to bring him on board. We also got in something like 175 tons of salt and 150 tons of sand on top of what we already had.
So where are we with our salt and sand supply for what we had anticipated we were going to need?
Yeah, I haven't been back to look the last, like today or last couple of days of the week, but we were doing pretty good the last time I went back and looked. And we probably have a standing order for more
Okay.
salt as it is.
Well, I don't think we're done. I hope we are, but it doesn't sound like that's in our future for a while. So at least we can get into March then without having to try to get some extra from somewhere. Is that
Right.
what you're believing? Okay.
Yeah, I'll have to see how we're doing. Like we can order 20% over what we contracted, and we have to buy at least 80% of what we contracted. So I'll see
Mhm.
how we're doing on that for next week or next meeting.
All right.
So another item that I got information about last week was the number of bridges that are so far accepted to be put on for that grant, where they're gonna get federal grant money, hopefully
Okay.
for bridges in the counties. And I think there's something like 70 counties on this list,
Mhm.
and there were 8 counties picked to go on the grant. One of the counties shown on here is Webster County, and they're not going to be going forward with it because I'll tell you about that in a second. We're down here, so another 2 years or so, maybe we'd be in the running.
Okay.
And
Just the top that you
then,
were showing in the gray area are the ones that are actually in contention this year for being able to get this grant funding.
yeah,
Okay.
it's kind of a greenish,
Yeah.
and Webster County's in that bunch, but it's not really in a bunch.
Okay.
So then another item that I learned about this past week was the county state bridge award. That's where the counties get counties get a share of the $2 million state grant for county bridges. And we applied,
Mhm.
and so Webster County got, and I think they were taken off of the other list. And we're tied with 2 other counties at 77, and that Page County was 78, Cedar County 79, Howard County 86, and Webster 87. So Webster was 10 points above us.
Okay.
And as some of these, if they continue with the federal grant, and as some of these other counties get picked ahead of us because their bridges are worse, maybe in about 3 or 4 years, we might be in the running to get that unless something happens, maybe some of these other bridges will get on that federal grant and it might move us up. So another item I heard about this week, this is better news. There's a COVID-19 impacts on highway, road, street funding. And let me see. This is going to be reviewed by the Iowa DOT Commission, and they're seeking comments. Let's see. Stu Anderson, the Director of Planning, Programming, and Modal Division for the DOT, is collecting comments, but county engineers will be putting them together and having them forwarded. So I don't know who else might contact Stu Anderson directly, but let's see. the Iowa County Engineers Association will be sending all of their requests at one time. At least that's the recommendation I heard Thursday. So what the amounts that involves, let's see. Jefferson County, this is called the COVID-19 relief funding, and it's to be added, as far as I can tell, into the FY21, this current fiscal year. That's if it goes through as is, or due to comments, something changes. But the estimated funding for farm to market would be an additional $77,084, Jefferson County. And SRF would be $219,323. So that's better than zero.
Yeah. So,
I mean, the estimated SRF for all counties was $28,632,174, and for the farm to market was $9,349,281. So our cut was those previous figures I mentioned, and I can get you a copy of this. And this is estimated, and there's going to be a comment period for maybe a month.
Okay.
And let me see, comments. There is a date comments need to be in. I don't see the exact date. Oh, here, yeah. The comments are supposed to be in just to Anderson by Friday, February 26th. So that's a short comment period, but I think they're going to examine the comments. And then, that's just to get them in. And once they examine them and they make a decision, I think that's going to be about a month away as to a final decision. So that is all I have in my pile.
okay. Dee, you have any questions for Scott?
No, I don't. Thanks, Scott.
Susie, do you have any questions for Scott?
No, I do not. Thank you, Scott.
Okay. All right, we'll move on in our agenda to consider Senate File 634 property tax dollar proposal. I believe that we have until the end of the week to get that published, what our proposal is going to be. We haven't made our final decision on that yet, and we will have another work session coming up here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. So that we can conclude that business and get it taken care of. So I think that's all I have on that. Dee, do you have any comments, questions?
Yeah, I just talked to Shannon a little bit ago, and we'll talk at our budget work session tomorrow, but she had given us enough time that if things came up, which they have, well, it'll probably be on our agenda Monday.
Okay. All right. And Susie?
Nothing.
Okay. All right, so we'll go on. We'll go on to set a date for public hearing on property tax dollar proposal. So that I think
Table to Monday.
table till Monday. Okay, so we'll table that until Monday. Okay, we'll move on to discuss and consider reinstatement of disposal system contractor license for Bob Brown Excavating Incorporated. We have a document of proof of bonding and insurance for Bob in our packets, and I would make a motion that we approve this license for Bob Brown Excavation.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We'll move on to discuss and consider Gordon Fletch copier contract. We recently received a copier from our VA office here. They had an upgrade from the federal government for theirs, and so we're good at taking hand-me-downs here in the supervisor's office. But there is an agreement for service and inks and toners, that kind of thing for the copier that Ray had with Gordon Flash Company. And the agreement is for it's a monthly payment of $27.73. And they come out and take care of the copier if we have any problems or need any assistance with it. And I'm asking the board to go ahead and continue this agreement for the time being, and see how things go for a while. It's a much better printer and copier than we had previously. It can scan documents, it can do things in color, it can work with both 8.5 by 11 and 8.5 by 14 pages. And it's been a nice little upgrade for the supervisors without costing the county any money. So I would like to make that motion that we approve this agreement with Gordon Flash Company Incorporated.
I'll second it.
Okay, I've got a second from Sandquist. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, we'll continue that. We've got an update of our board and committee assignments included in our packet today. And did you have any comments on that, Dee?
Yeah, we were gonna have Dee do 911 instead of Darren.
Right. And that's because emergency management and E911 usually meet at the same time virtually. And if Dee was going to be on one committee, it would be best if she was on the second as well. I'll second that motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, so let's move on. We're going to discuss and consider the 2080 agreement between Jefferson County Environmental Health Department and Lee County Environmental Health Department. The Jefferson County and Lee County 2080 agreement for environmental health services coverage when the local county EHS is absent. This is an agreement we've had in place in the past. Lee County has approved this agreement, and we will also need signatures from the chairperson and both, or by the environmental health services, the Board of Health chairperson, and the Board of Supervisors chairperson. So
If it needs to be signed this week, Susie better sign it, otherwise I'll sign up Monday. Hopefully I'll be back by then.
okay, Susie is currently our co-chair.
I have original copies with the Board of Health signature on it, and I think all the original signatures need to be on the same page. So
Why don't you get the ones from the others and then get me Monday?
yeah, okay, that'll be good.
Okay, so we've already voted to approve this, right?
No, we haven't voted.
Okay. I would accept a motion to approve the two agreements that we have that will need signed by our chairperson, Dee Sandquist. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Drish. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Dan, please get that taken care of and get to Dee by next Monday, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, we'll move on to make committee reports. Susie?
Darren, who made that motion?
I made the motion. Susie made the
Okay.
second, and the vote was unanimous.
All right, thank you.
Yep. So, any committee reports? Susie?
Yeah, the Workforce Development Local Elected Official Committee. I have had several conversations via the phone with the lady that is dealing with that, and we are in the process of figuring out who is going to be on what committees within that. And I will say that the DCAT meeting was canceled yesterday, so that has an impact. But that's it for anything extraordinary.
Okay, Dee, did you have any meetings in the last?
Yeah, last Wednesday I had CO Mental Health Governance Board. And I talked about an experience I had with one of the contracted services, which they are going to do some research on. And that was giving the number for the Mobile Crisis Center to a person to use. And then the experience needed improvement, let's just say that. So they're going to work on that. And they've had some challenges with the service. It's a new service, and of course COVID complicated it. But basically the other areas of the state, most of them are going out like they're supposed to, whereas this one is based in Iowa City, and so far it's doing telehealth, and that's not what we're contracted for. So we'll be working through that. We had conference board last week and just finalized the budget for that, for the assessor. And I think that was pretty much it.
Okay. I didn't have any committee meetings this last week. I will have a committee meeting here this morning at 11 a.m. concerning the 2080 agreement between the city, the county, and FEDA for the spec building on the south side of town. So I'll have a report at the next meeting concerning that. So we'll move on then. We have Brett Farrell joining us as well right now. So we'll move on to public comments. Do we have any comments from the public, questions from the news media who are on with us, KMCD, as well as Andy Hallman from the union? We have Mike Brown, Dan Miller, Brett Farrell, Bart Richmond, our sheriff, is on with us, and Scott Klein. Any of you have any comments or questions?
No, none here.
Okay. Hearing none, we'll move on.
There is one more thing.
Yes,
Forgot
Scott.
to mention in the part about where the county would get the COVID relief fund, there's also all of the incorporated cities in Jefferson County are also listed on there as receiving certain amounts of funding.
Mhm.
So that'll be good for the whole county, not just, I mean, all of the incorporated towns as well as the county.
Okay,
That's great.
that's good. Thank you for letting us know that, Scott. I appreciate that information, and I'm sure any of the small cities and Fairfield may be interested in that information as well. So I appreciate you putting that out there. So let's move on to allow claims and approve reports. I'll accept a motion to allow claims.
So moved.
I have a motion from Drish, second from Hamilton. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Discuss and consider nuisance properties. We have received I just had that here. We have received some bids for the work to be done at Nathan Harriman's property. What did I- Missing it for some reason. I made copies and gave it to you. Well, I just feel like I'm not with it here this morning. One more pass through here. All right. We had 3 contractors bid on it. We had a very low bid of $13,500, which did not include some of the items that we were looking to have included in the bid. And so we're going to reject that bid. We received 2 other bids, one from Drish Excavating and one from Chittick Tilling. The one from Drish was $31,000. The one from Chittick was $27,750. And we're going to move ahead and approve that, or make the motion to approve that so that we can start cleanup on the property here within the next few weeks. I would make the motion to accept that bid. Do I have a second?
I can second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, we'll have more detail on that here at our budget work session tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. We've also got a meeting coming up on Friday for an employee evaluation at 9 a.m. So those are the next 2 times we will come together as a board. I would take a motion to adjourn this meeting. I have a
Second.
motion from Girish, a second from Sandquist. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, everyone, for being on the board meeting this morning, and look forward to seeing you face to face sometime, hopefully. Warmer days, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.